All right, guys, we are live again. Welcome to Market Mondays. Market Mondays, where we discuss the market. Hold on, I'm just making sure everything is up. Yeah, it looks like everything. All right, let me share my screen and we can get into the markets. All right, so it looks like the S&P is down 0.48%. Dow Jones is down 0.3%. NASDAQ 0.82%, Russell 2000 1.39%, crude oil is up 0.13%, and then gold is up 0.26%. So it looks like overall market is a little bit down. It's not going down too bad. And you have your crude oil, you have your gold, it's up a little bit. So it looks like the market is kind of just it's not really doing terrible, but it's not exploding. And I think, again, it's because people are waiting to see what they do with interest rates. So once they make it, and I'm not sure when the next decision, let me see if I could find when the next Fed meeting. Let's see. Hold on. It says the 7th of November. That's not, can't be accurate. I think it's in March or May. Fed meeting. All right, let's see. All right, so they have one. Okay, so the next one is March 19th through the 20th. So pretty soon, in a couple weeks, or in a few weeks, actually. Yeah, in a few weeks, maybe a month. Yeah, we're probably a month out until the next meeting. So people are waiting to see, the market is waiting to see what interest rates do. If they cut interest rates, the markets will rally. If they don't, we might see a little crash. But if we move over to the crypto market is doing pretty decent, right? So over the weekend, Bitcoin broke over, or was that Friday? Let me see. Yeah, I think it was Friday. It did break over 50K, but it's hailed over 50K. Now, I think we're going to be getting into a altcoin rally. So Bitcoin might be moving sideways for a little bit, and then also there's some sell pressure from, I believe it's Bitfinex. And let me check if Bitfinex is an exchange or no, I don't think. Let's see, what is Bitfinex? Yeah, Bitfinex is an exchange. Um, People are selling now. I'm not sure what the selling pressure is from, but we also have a lot of buying pressure from people buying the spot BT, the institutions buying the spot Bitcoin ETF. So yeah, it's kind of canceling out the selling pressure, and that's why we're seeing Bitcoin stabilize here at 50K. But I think maybe we'll get a little crash 45 to 50K, and we're gonna get an altcoin rally. And the reason why I believe this is because Ethereum has a lot of positive catalysts coming up, and when Bitcoin moves sideways like this, or starts to be moved sideways, I think it's gonna do. I think that's the time we're gonna see an altcoin rally right before the Bitcoin halving, and yeah, I think that's when a lot of the profits are made. So again, this is not financial advice, but if you are in the crypto space and you do have altcoins, I think in the next month or so, we're going to see some good price action. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, hopefully this is the best crypto bull run we've seen. Hopefully it's oh, my battery's dying. Hopefully it's the biggest one yet. Put my charger. All right. All right. So I have so I want to share, before we get into the article, I wanted to share. I actually purchased an AI newsletter yesterday. I'm not going to say the person's name because I don't want to. Actually, I could say the person's name. Why not? I actually, James Altershurs. Altuchers. That's his last name. Altuchers. I'm not sure, but his first name is James. And I bought his AI newsletter. I was watching a YouTube video and his commercial, his ad came up, and I remember seeing him before when I bought when I was doing penny stocks back in my college days through Timothy Sykes. I remember seeing him too. So he's pretty well respected in the space as far as his research, as far as his credentials. So I saw his thing. I read his, or I watched his video. He's like a little sales pitch about AI, and I was waiting to see how much he was gonna charge for his newsletter. And I was thinking, oh man, if this is like 1,500 to 2,000 or even $500, I'm not buying this thing. I was thinking, I would buy it if it was like 200 to 250, but he actually was selling it for 49. But then when you clicked on the link, it was actually 79. But I still thought that was a good deal because what he offered was, some good AI picks that he believes are going to benefit from the AI boom in the next coming years. And then also, he provided some other articles on how to make money with AI. So I think and again, I've seen this guy before in the crypto space, in the stock space, and his credentials are up there. I think he graduated from Cornell. He did some studying. I think he had his own hedge fund, and he made good predictions on Bitcoin and things like that. So I like to pay for news articles like that just to get information to figure out where my next investment's going to be. And I think AI is definitely going to be one of those spaces where you don't want to miss out. So I paid the $79. It's a $79 a year to get into his newsletter, but you get updates. He gave out 4 free reports. So yeah, James Altucher. If you guys want to check that out, I spelled it earlier. So if you want to see how the last name is spelled, you can go back in the video. But yeah, I think it was a good buy for $79. And this is why I always tell you guys to be paying for information for people that have access to more information than you. He has access to a lot of venture capitalists, a lot of people in high places that you won't be able to get access to. So when you can buy information like that for $79 a year, I think it's worth it because, again, I'm trying to look for where my next investment after the crypto space, and I think AI is definitely a good play. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Maybe I do make a video. I'm not going to give out any of the picks because, again, I paid for that service, so it's not something I'm just going to dish out. What I could say, what I thought prior to watching reading the newsletter, NVIDIA, it was always a good play to me for the AI space because of the chips. So yeah, I'm not going to say whether that was in the report, but I'm just saying that's one of the stocks that I was looking at. Now it does have a big market cap, and that would probably have to be a long-term play because I think NVIDIA is sitting at 1.7 trillion or somewhere around there. So in order for it to double, again, I'm always looking for doubles. So it's going to need 1.7 trillion. I think it can definitely get that, but it's going to take some time. So yeah. But yeah, enough of that. So again, we'll get into the article of the week. This article is from NBC News. It says young adults are getting used to living on a financial cliff. Millennials and Gen Zers are pulling in bigger paychecks, but much of their spending power is fueling short-term purchases like groceries, vacations, not savings. Yeah, everything's getting expensive. So it says young adults' wealth is growing, but they're still living and spending in the here and now. Many feel that they don't have a choice. The net worth of Americans aged 18 to 39 surged from 80% from the start of 2019 to the third quarter of last year. Federal Reserve Bank of New York research shows blowing past the rates for older generations. So it says the net worth of people from 18 to 39 went up 80%, but much of those gains are from investments that climbed alongside stock markets and largely don't translate into disposable income. And while millennials age 28 to 43 and plenty of their Gen Z near peers 12 to 27 are pulling in bigger paychecks, they're still pumping that cash into pricier everyday expenses. Right, everything's getting expensive. Rent is getting expensive. Food is getting expensive. You want to go on a vacation, you probably not going to spend. You probably can't spend less than $2,000. So everything is getting expensive, right? So even though people's paycheck is going up, like I think honestly that 100K is like the new 50K. I said this in one of my videos. So even though you're making more money, you need to account for all this inflation. And a lot of the times, the job you have is not giving pay increases each year to meet up with this inflation. And if you do get an increase, it's like 3 to 4% when inflation is really like 6 to 7%. All right, so it says, where the generations that got stuck between a rock and a hard place, said Hala Ismail, a 32-year-old pharmacy technician in Philadelphia, after a cohort came of age between two recessions, pandemic, and crushing student loan debt. We want to enjoy our lives, but we're always waiting for the shoe to drop. I guess maybe like the shoe to drop in price is what she was going to say, or where they cut her off. Ismail earned her master's in biochemistry and biomedical sciences in 2020 and took a job making around 100K annually as a epidemiologist for the state of New Jersey. I probably said that wrong, but after 2 years in the role and with inflation then hovering near 40 year highs, she left her job to pursue a pharmacy doctorate, hoping to lift her earning profile. Honestly, like with people, I feel like a lot of people do that where they go get more education when they don't make enough money or they're not happy with what they're doing. I honestly would just get a trade or just try to figure out a side hustle on your own. I just think going to school is just the last thing you should do, especially if you already got a degree making you 100K, right? So you're making 100K at your current job, go get a side hustle so you can, add, supplement what you're already making. I think a degree is just going to take a lot of time, and you really don't. Again, a degrees maybe get her an extra 20,000 a year, but that's after another 3-4 years of school, and she's gonna have to, find a job, right, to actually get her that. So it's gonna be a process. I think people should just get a side hustle instead. But yeah. Change in net worth. So let's look at this graph. So age 39. So age 18 to 39 is going up. 40 to 54 is kind of staying the same. And then 55 and older went up actually a little higher, right? And it might be because the older people, maybe they have their 401k pensions and stuff like that. So maybe, if they're in the market, so their net worth is going up. 40 to 54, they're kind of probably stuck at those jobs. They're really like, and they haven't tapped into, I'm not sure why the 40 to 54, why they're doing worse than everybody else. Let's see if they say. But for several years, share balances. Those two things are making it hard on younger people. Consumers, those proceeding are building using more credit. Yeah, we're using more credit. The younger folks are building and using more as they get older. Yep. Even higher in the young adults, say devoting. Okay. Share of bank card balances. So I'm assuming they're talking about credit cards. So Gen Z, Gen X. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why. I'm trying to think. Change in net worth. It's going higher up. Obviously, for 18 to 39, people are making more money. And then people in the middle, maybe they're not part of that technology boom like that. I mean, I know we had the dot-com boom, but maybe you just missed out. Maybe it's just like older folks that are just not like adapting to technology, and they're not like getting in on like the crypto or technology plays. And then 55 and older, maybe they were just, they invested more in a pension. They had access because we don't really have access to pensions. I feel like people are 40, 54, they don't really have pensions, maybe to the tail end of that. So yeah, I guess that's my reasoning behind that. 40 to 54, they didn't have pensions like 55 and older. They used to give a lot of pensions out depending on the job you work, but pensions were more common. You don't really see that now, but 18 to 39-year-olds have technology where they can invest and make money and get a higher paying job. All right. And that's probably another thing too, right? 40 to 54, they're probably not looking for a new job at that age. They just stay with the same, so their net worth is not going up. So that's my synopsis. That's my reasoning behind that. All right, race. So we look at race. Blacks are down, right? Hispanics are up, and whites are up. All right. Again, it could be due to culture, right? That could be one thing. Maybe, it's a culture thing, but let's see if they say anything about that. Okay, so it says after a run of financial hardship, something many other Black Americans experience too. He wants to get a better budgeting, but he said he turned to content after a run of hardship. All right, so they don't say why, but again, it could be culture, right? It could be culture. It could be, maybe a lack of opportunity, depending on where people are from. But yeah, that is the statistics right here. While his credit score is low, savings shrunk to 1,000. Yeah, people are not saving a lot. But yeah, that is the article. Yeah, everything is getting expensive. I find it too. I have to especially for monthly subscriptions, have to go back and see what I actually need. I've been doing this for the last month, cutting some stuff out that I don't need. It's easy to subscribe to something and then forget about it, and then money's just being taken out. So yeah, you want to make sure, even though you're making more money, that it's matching the expenses, right? The increase in expenses that you are seeing or experiencing should not be trumping your increase in pay, right? But yeah. So that's it for the live stream today. And I will see you guys Wednesday. I'm going to try to find some other articles. Maybe I find some interesting stuff about the AI article, the AI newsletter that I got. And maybe I'll share that with you guys. But I can't really share too much because it's a pay-for subscription. I think in one of the readings that I was... one in the newsletter says we can't really share, but I'll be careful on what I share. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.